Hi guys, Ruddy here. So HyperTalk episode 5 just released and it's actually contained a lot of information. Alright, we got some preview of the new Animus I mentioned yesterday, the Disorder unit and the other SSR unit as well. Some of the upcoming season rewards, some of the awakening stuff that I don't really get it yesterday, but now we actually get it, like also the kit for the SSR unit as well, and the upcoming like the roadmap as well. There's a lot of things to actually go through. I'll break down every announcement, every information, give my own quick thought as well, and also the highlight what you should actually know as well. So actually this episode 5 of the Hyper Talk, there's actually a global version and the version for the CN, Taiwan, JP, honestly. There's actually two versions. So for the one we are watching with two guys here, they are actually doing a hyper talk for us, specifically for global. And then for the CN, Taiwan, and JP, they actually have another recording. Is the two girls one. They but basically what they are talking through is, I would say 99% is the same thing, just Chinese and different kind of hosts to actually go through, and one is going for Chinese and one is going for English, but the thing they're going to demonstrate is actually plus minus the same thing. Okay, so the first thing they went through about the whole video is about, like, this is what they're going to talk. The global launch review stuff, we can skip this part. I'm going to go through with the season overview. I'll go through with the upcoming Animus as well, the shell stuff we mentioned yesterday, and some of the event stuff, new event, some optimization, and also year-end grand final, but this one is for the EWS PvP. Okay, probably I'm too big. I'm gonna make myself smaller here. Right, yeah, I'm just this tiny. Okay, then we go through here. There's some PV. If you're interested to watch it, you can watch it by yourself. But the whole PV is basically like AI art thing, right? So it's nothing too much. You can see the character is not even, it's not even that nice, I would say. That, like, in terms of movement, you see the portion is actually pretty off. Is very AI feeling, in my opinion. Okay, so if you want to watch the animation, you can watch it by yourself, but I'm just gonna skip this part and directly go through. And then they're gonna release some of the main character costume. To be honest, it's actually pretty nice for the female one. I like the female one more for this time. Why? Because let's change the angle a little bit for this costume. Okay, can you change the angle? Yep, that's the reason why I actually like this costume more for the female one. Alright, then the lock-in event is what I also mentioned with yesterday as well. Yesterday, from the early view sneak peek, where we briefly watch through like the dice I mentioned, the Apex prototype I mentioned, the SSR box I mentioned as well. Everything is actually true and is going through. Then for the upcoming Disorder unit is the Bruiser unit, like I mentioned yesterday as well. And they did mention about a skill kit, like the S1 is doing Taunt, all this thing. We can go through this. The character PV is doing okay for the PV wise. Okay, then we can take a look here. So Lowan is a defense-based character, right? So like I mentioned yesterday, it's a LD Bruiser unit. So another Bruiser unit, defense skilling, and then with exaltation. So what he does is, when you have that special debuff, right, with exaltation, you're either going to get more damage taken by her damage, and also when you do damage to her, the damage is going to get reduced as well. Okay, so everything here is a lot of debuff as well. He have like attack down and also speed down surrounding with a kit, and it looks like AoE damage as well. It is a very good news for the Bruiser player, but probably is a bad news for me since I'm not a Bruiser player, right? And then he also built in with CC. So S1 here deals damage to a single target based on Lowan's defense, and then also have a chance to apply Taunt. This Taunt is actually a hard CC, so it's a very good stuff in PvE and also in PvP as well. And also, if the target is already affected by exaltation, which is you can apply through the S3, then you have an additional effect, which is the attack will always hit, and advanced Lowan's turn meter, which is turn meter push for herself. Then exclusive effect, if enemy is affected by execution, deals reduced damage to Lowan, so they do damage to her, it's going to be reduced, so it's not going to be that effective after she applies the mark on you. Okay, and also with a built-in Bramble set as well to actually let her counter attack. Then your S2 is a attack down and speed down debuff, and then you also apply the exaltation, will always hit and deals increased damage. And your S3 is another AoE damage, and then also dispelling buff, and every hit here can also apply taunt. So I don't know, it might also be good for turn 1 player because you can actually apply Dispel and you can also apply Exaltation, so probably is also a good Dispeller unit for the turn 1 player to be a Dispeller unit, right? So ultimately you can see unleash multiple defense based attack on a single enemy, and then also dispelling buff with every hit. So I'm not sure how many hits. So let's say she's gonna hit three times, then it's a 3 times of dispelling chance and then applying taunt. This is actually a very hard CC, so it's a very good thing for turn 1 player in a way as well, cause if I can AoE do dispelling, apply taunt to you, then you are forced to just cast S1, right? And I'm a defense skilling, so I'm gonna be a little bit more tankier. So on paper it's a bruiser unit, but I think that it's also able to benefit for the turn 1 player if you just want to do AoE dispel instantly and apply taunt. I think it's still a good thing. After applying taunt, then you also have a chance to apply exaltation, which is the part when they do damage to her, is lower down the damage taken on her. So I think it's also a very good unit for turn 1, but it's a bruiser unit. Okay. Then there's another SSR unit, but this one is not going to be disorder. It's actually going to be a raid unit. This guy here with the guitar, the only male character from the poster itself, the only male character with the guitar. So it's a very good overall buffer unit, and also AoE cooldown reduction unit, and also DPS as well, in my opinion. And also AoE cleanse. If I'm not mistaken, the S3 is actually AoE cleanse. So we can take a look at the skill introduction now, which is Santik, right? He's a raid unit. Okay, let me slightly go through. It's a support type Animus. It can build around critical strike. His exclusive passive allows any ally who lands a critical hit recover HP based on their damage deal. So you build in some life steal while increasing the crit damage of all allies. So if in PvE, it's definitely going to be very strong as well, because you can keep on doing damage, and then your overall team is going to get more crit damage increase. So it's going to make all your Animus damage a lot more higher. It's actually very good, and he provides crit rate up and also crit damage up. It's a very good supporter unit in my opinion. Okay, then we can take a look at the more detailed. Okay, yeah. S1 deal damage to a single target and cleanse debuff from the ally with the most debuff. If the attack crits, the number of debuff cleanse increase. So if she crits, then you can cleanse more. If you don't crit, you cleanse 1 debuff from the most debuff ally. So you have a cleanser in a way in his kit, but he's not a defense skilling, so it's going to be an attack skiller Animus. And then he have an exclusive passive. This is what I also feel like I like it a lot, which is going to be when your ally lands a critical hit, they heal based on the damage deal, and then also permanently all allies gain a permanent increase to crit damage. So everyone's damage output is going to be a lot more higher. So if I build him with the other enemies, like let's say Plume, in my Plume somehow crit, then it will also benefit my overall team crit damage. Let's say my Messiah, then my Messiah is going to do a lot more crit damage as well. So overall, I really like his kit. Like, it's a very good supporter unit for the turn 1 player and also for the turn 2 player, to be honest. Skill 2 is an AoE damage, and then also increase the Animus and Shell skill cooldown. This is actually very strong, especially when let's say enemy is building with Amber, and one of the biggest Amber for weakness for Amber other than Wound is actually skill cooldown. You can skill cooldown on Amber, and then Amber is on cooldown, then you can just kill the target without triggering the Amber. So this S2 is AoE damage, and then also with Animus reducing the skill and the shell. It's actually a very strong thing, because you can like disable the Holden S3 and S2, just make Holden left S1, all this thing. It's a very strong unit. But if you're a bruiser, if you build him with blood buff, you can also do that the same thing to the enemy as well. It's a very strong supporter unit in my opinion. Okay, and not just that, it also apply crit down and effect accuracy, so it's harder for you to land CC, and also harder for you to land crit. Then your S3, the S3 here is crazy. Your S3 cleanse all debuff from ally. No matter you are turn 1 player or turn 2 player, this cleanses all debuff from ally is crazy good. Like, let's say I'm turn 1 player, I won't use this buff a lot, but it will be good in certain situation if enemy is using Plume And because sometimes when I'm playing Cleave, enemy Plume can just casually cut in my team because of the passive 8% turn meter push, and then Plume just apply the weakness debuff to my team. Then overall my team DPS output is get lower down, and it's just fuck up my rotation, right, because of the weakness debuff. But if I can use Santik to cut off after Plume, then I can cleanse away all the debuff and then apply buff for my team, crit rate up and crit damage up, and then I take an additional turn because he S3 will get himself a turn. Then when he casts the S3, when he take the turn, he's going to cast a S2 AoE damage to increase the enemy skill cooldown and also the shell cooldown as well. And at the same time will trigger the exclusive passive because I'm doing damage. Then it will increase all allies crit damage as well. So it's a very good supporter unit for turn 1, but for the turn 2 player it's also usable because AoE cleanse is a very strong unit, and apply crit rate and also crit damage up is also benefiting for turn 2 as well. Yeah, get extra turn instantly. So I would say both of the unit is very good for the upcoming patch ones, no matter it's Santik or the other LD unit, what's that called? Lowan. Yeah, Lowan and Santik is going to be a very strong unit for the upcoming one, and they're going to have the banner at the same time, so it's very hard to decide, like, do you want to go for the RGB unit or do you want to go for the LD unit. But personally for me, I want to get each copy one, right? Then in terms of dupe, I will see if I want to get for that. Then they also go through for the upcoming new Animus. So the upcoming one, these two, Lowan and Santik for us, is the upcoming patch. And then for Palin and Sun Yu, which is these two units here, will be upcoming for December 25 on Christmas. Then after we have Familia, is actually for next year. So this unit here, one is LD, one is going to be the raid unit, and there's 3 awakened SR unit, is like making the old SR unit getting a little bit more skill enhanced, which I don't really like because there's one Animus getting a buff, which is Sanya, because Sanya is actually mega strong in a lot of Bruiser team comp. You can see I don't get it why they want to put Sanya in the buff thing, because Sanya is actually super strong for the Bruiser player already, and they even want to further buff it. Look at it, Turandot, RC77 and Sanya. Turandot, understandable because not a lot of players actually using Turandot, right? Even though she have a very fast base speed, but a lot of players don't really care about her. And then for RC77 is a very good debuffer, but not many players care about her as well. But Sanya, basically every Bruiser team comp are using Sanya as the main healer, like one of the main healer, and you are awakening Sanya. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, out of all SR unit, you can pick so many other SR unit and you pick Sanya. That's the part I don't get it. And then for awakening 3, you can get a little bit more stat, a little bit more speed. So imagine the Sanya meta currently, and getting more speed for your Sanya is just crazy. Alright, then for the buff they're gonna get, they also did mention about it as well. So Turandot here, new passive, increase the strength of basic buff applies to all allies. So I want to see what is the basic buff applied to all allies strength. What is that? Her skill kit here does not mention anything about like basic buff. So I want to guess, like, is it like the effect accuracy here instead of 40% is going to be higher, or the attack or defense percentage here instead of 40 and 60 probably is it going to be like 50 or 70? I'm curious, like, what does the basic buff mean about in the Turandot kit? Then for the S2 here, overall skill improvement, this is actually good because the turn order of Dispel and turn meter down is swapped. Turandot S2 here is a 4 hit of damage and a 30% chance to decrease turn meter by 25% and a 40% chance to dispel 1 buff. So you are reducing the turn meter first, then only dispel buff, which doesn't make sense. So now they change, if you advance the awakening for Turandot, then now Turandot can dispel the buff of the target first, then only reduce the turn meter buff. So you can actually like dispel away their immunity, then only turn meter down. And you have 4 hits, so you have 4 chances to reduce dispel 1 buff, and 4 chances to reduce turn meter by 25%. This is actually very good for the Turandot buff, and not to mention Turandot is actually one of the fastest base speed in the game in terms of 128 here. If we don't consider about the plus 12, the 128 base speed here is actually very fast. Not even Lily is that fast, because like Lily is 127, but Lily here have the plus 15 benefit to actually outspeed Turandot, but Turandot base speed is actually pretty fast. It's not really that bad. Okay, the Turandot here is pretty good. Then the S3 here also add a new Terminator push effect. So now Turandot can apply attack up buff, defend up buff, and also Terminator push. So Turandot after awakening, I think it's going to be one of the famous unit for us to actually use because she have Dispel in her kit now, Terminator control in her kit, new passive here to increase basic buff. I'm curious what is this. And then with Terminator push effect with attack up and defend up is actually a very good buff for Turandot. Then for RC77, I think is overall looks decent. Like you have overall skill enhanced for your S3 is okay. Then your S2 here is the debuff extension, but now you have debuff spread as well. I'm not sure if this is good for PvP. I want to see about it. Like how do you spread? Do you only spread your own debuff, or do you also spread the debuff that is on the target? If the target have CC, can I spread the CC to the whole team? That's actually interesting, right? Then your S1 have a new passive when an enemy target has a debuff purified. So if they actually cleanse a debuff away from the if the enemy cleanse debuff, then their buff are simultaneously dispelled and their max HP is reduced. So it's a very good counter against if they're actually trying to cleanse stuff, and then you can reduce their max HP cap. A good passive add-on, I would say, but I'm more interested about the new debuff spread for RC77. But I'm not sure why they are going to buff Sanya, and Sanya buff is crazy. S1 new effect, increase the turn meter of all ally affected by all powerful protection. This all powerful protection is applied on Sanya's S3. So if you spread the Sanya S3 to all your allies, so everyone got one stack of all powerful protection, the moment you cast S1, all your ally including Sanya get turn meter push by, I don't know, like 20% or 30%. By 30%. So Sanya increased her turn meter push by 30%, and every single ally who have the all powerful protection getting turn meter push by 30% as well. Crazy, is crazy. And then your S2 here, they will enhance this effect. I'm not sure how they can enhance it. And now the S3, instead of just applying all powerful protection, which increase your max HP by 20%, recover 20% max HP, and then you are able to dispel all debuff from that target. Sanya buff is just insane. Like Sanya is already meta good without any buff, and now she's just gonna be even stronger for the bruiser player. So it's just crazy. Then they're gonna add some quality of life, which is actually very good. The shell, they're gonna add the shell lab thing into our dailies, I would say. Probably not daily, but you know, it's like it's gonna be a permanent stuff instead of event now, based on what they are talking about. And they're also going to implement a very good function. It's called the shell overhaul. So shell overhaul is also like the shell lab function, but instead of that, they are gonna add your existing shell are able to override the matrix combination. So let's say this White Fang Harvest Momentum Fury Age is something you want to change for. You can actually select whatever matrix effect you want to change by not actually killing the shell. But you need this material, this new diamond here. They did so we need to actually get this stuff to actually able to change whatever shell matrix combination you go for. But this is actually a good update in my opinion, but depends on how we are going to get this shell. If this diamond thing is actually pay to win, then I think it's actually fucked up, but I guess not. But then they're gonna release some supply pack here, and this supply pack is actually able to pick whatever stats you want instantly. This is, I don't know, I have a feeling they're gonna add this supply pack into the pay to win pack as well. I want to see how they do it. I'm definitely sure they're gonna do that, but this actually make them a lot more easier. Like let's say I have to roll like 2000 data sheet or 3000 data sheet to actually get one raid speed, right? While they can just pick the supply pack, pick whatever matrix passive effect you want, and then just instantly slap on it. So I'm not sure when they slap on it, instantly getting like the minimum stats, or it's an RNG roll. Like let's say speed is 16 to 20. Does that mean that it's an RNG roll? Because if you always get the highest, like let's say the speed here always get 20 speed, you save so much RNG. But if this box is actually pay to win, then it's actually the gap between the free-to-play player and or the low spender with the whale are going to be bigger and bigger, because they can just wheel all the perfect rate roll here. They can just keep on spamming this thing, right? And while you are still re-rolling through the reconfig chip. Okay, then they also went through with this like shiny Pokemon thing. You can like have the shell with the shiny version, but you can only get it through when you're grinding the shell boss. When you're grinding the shell boss, then you have a chance to actually drop an item, which they did not show it here, but in the Chinese version they did show it. So let me go through it here. Here, something like this. You need to get this item, and then you can see this item here. Out of 1, he have 9 currently, which means he able to get this Oboros shiny shell item 9 times, and you can apply to 9 shell with this shiny system. So when you grind it, you hope they drop it, and you drop it. If you drop 1, then you can apply it to 1 shell. So if you have 10 codex of magic, and in the 10 codex of magic also want to get the shiny effect, then you need to hope you actually grind it and you drop 10 times. I would say overall the shiny shell system here is actually pretty interesting. It's like hunting Pokemon, but I want to see how bad is the drop rate is. Okay, then after that we have this like roadmap. So from the roadmap here, we can tell that this Lowan and Santik. Lowan is dark, which is the LD unit, and then Santik is actually red unit. So this is actually the first time they apply LD unit and RGB unit at the same time. So I don't know. I need both. I need both of the unit. So I probably need to wait for Wishbinder event, because there's Wishbinder event here. So you probably don't really want to summon Santik so fast, or you can actually gamble a little bit here at the Wishbinder event, and you hope you actually get it, because Wishbinder event requires you to summon with your perma, with the normal summon, right, at the perma pool. Okay, so Wishbinder event is here. Then we have like Blessing Golai. They even written out when is the date to get the double drop rate. The event, everything here is written up. This is actually pretty cool, because I can know that I am able to prepare that December 25, there's going to be a Nether Quarry event here. So another PvE event. This is actually very good for me. And then they also mentioned like what is SS2 round 1, round 2, round 3. All the event here is listed, and also we're gonna have a Messiah rerun as well. This is also very good. So yeah, but it's surprising that the LD and RGB is going at the same time, and I'll summon. Okay, so these are the roadmap they currently have, but the Wishbinder is still here, so I probably want to save my summon for the Wishbinder as well. But yeah, it's actually a lot event going through, and also module force as well. Then they have this new event called Charcoal Treasure Hunt. Okay, Charcoal Treasure Hunt here. This is one of the place we get the Matrix box stuff for our Matrix passive, the shell passive, and also the cube here for us to reconfig or change the Matrix accommodation for our shell. Okay, so for this event here, I'm not sure how they're gonna play it, but basically if you play through it and then you are able to get through the pack, so sorry, not the pack, the shop here, you are able to buy some of the like golden lattice, the box here for you to change the Matrix the shell passive here. There's a lot of other reward for you to actually purchase, but you can see this cube here for you to change the Matrix effect one, there's only one. So I think all this thing is just going to be very event based, and then you need to actually clear the event and get the reward. But overall, in my opinion, it's actually a good quality of life. Then they did mention they're going to release more QOL as well, especially for this one. I'm actually loving this one. Like, you don't have to go through the stupid maze again. As long as you cleared it one time, you can just auto function it, and this is in hard mode, and auto clear the maze. So you can only just focus on the elite mob and the boss stage. This is actually very good in my opinion. Then also for this this co-op function here, you can also just skip if you reach SSS. Save a lot of time. You don't have to really wait for it. So there's more quality of life. But yeah. Then basically in the end here is talking about the EWS sign up stuff with global fighting, CN, Taiwan, JP, Korean, all these things. And then the winner here, the champion, can actually order what skin you want. Then they will make the skin for the EWS. So we can tell that they're actually trying to go for a long run for the game here. Just depends on how the player base is thinking about the game. So far for global, definitely it's dropping in terms of like the popularity wise for Etheria start, but for CN it's actually still going pretty good. Okay, so CN is still going pretty good. Then the rest of the information here from CN side is basically the same thing as well. Just different people talking. One, the CN one is female, and then the global one is 2 male. Alright, so yeah, that's all for this video. You can feel free to comment down what you guys think about it, like the new Animus, the quality of life, the new changes for like the awakening system, the shell matrix, reconfig, all this thing. What do you guys think about the upcoming changes? Is it a good one for you, or is it a bad one for you? Feel free to comment down and let me know as well. I'm also curious what do you guys think about it. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.